Hello again. You're back. And I couldn't be more happy to see you. I wish it was under better circumstances because I know if you're here, you're probably going through some pretty rough times. And I know, I get it. And I wish more than anything that I could just erase this pain and take all of this crap out from under your feet. Because I know that you probably feel like you're on an ice skating rink and your feet are just and you've probably gone to the doctor and asked for help. You've probably said things like, my person is hallucinating, my person won't take a shower, I don't know what to do. I think that, they might start a fire, they're wandering. What do I do? And unfortunately, the doctors don't have the solutions, nor does the social worker or the nurse at these doctors' offices. So oftentimes their answer is, maybe it's time to move them to a care community. Well, that's all well and good. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying maybe there's some other solutions, right? Because if that's not what you want, and if it's not what your loved one wants, let's figure out the alternative because doctors don't have any alternatives. So when a doctor or a nurse or a social worker recommends moving your loved one because of behaviors, it's basically what they're saying is, we don't know what to tell you how to solve this problem, so let's just move it. Because if you move your loved one to a senior living community, you're not solving their behavioral problem, you're just moving the problem to another building. And depending on where you move them, they might get worse results, right? So if they want to go home and they are home and you move them, they're still going to want to go home. But we're not solving what they're suffering from because your person with dementia is suffering. They are under stress and duress. So if we just move them, we're not solving their problem, their stress, and their duress. I'm a problem solver. I solve problems. I solve dementia problems specifically. The other thing is that they will refer to drugs. Now, no fault to them. They don't have the training, right? So they don't know. This is all they know. So they might refer you to start medicating your person with dementia. So if we start medicating our person with dementia, they're prone to having more falls. There's always side effects from medication. But the other problem that I kind of have with that is, again, we're just covering up the problem. So inside, they're still being tortured, right? They're calmer on the outside, but they very well may still be suffering on the inside. So again, we're not solving the problem. We're just masking it or covering it up, or we're drugging them to the point where they're like comatose. Now, what kind of life is that? So wouldn't you rather have the skills and the knowledge to easily calm them down? Wouldn't you much rather have the skills to be able to spend quality time with your loved one? I recently had someone, it was very recent, actually, it was today, one of my graduates who did a video testimony for me. Her name is Cheryl. And Cheryl told me that her mother lives out of state. And she said, in the past, I would go visit and it was horrible. Our visits were horrible. I'd end up crying. My mom would be angry and upset and frustrated. And we just did not enjoy each other anymore. And she told me that she just recently came back from spending several days with her mom. And she said, we had so much fun. We were engaging. We were doing activities. She goes, I would have never, ever known how to engage my mom in these activities. And she said, you know what? And honestly, I can't even believe this either. But she said to me, my relationship with my mom today, now with dementia, is actually the best our relationship has ever been. That's what she said. She said, my relationship with my mom now with dementia, it was a very bad relationship a month ago, has gotten so much better that it's the best our relationship has ever been. She said, the things that I learned in the class taught me how to, I'm trying to think of what her words were, but kind of, I don't let things affect me anymore that I did before. It's so much easier. And she said, and the more I do it, the easier it is. She goes, now I hardly even think about it. I just do it. Like I don't even have to like really put any effort in it. She goes, it's becoming so easy now. And she said, we actually spend hours and hours together enjoying each other's company. And she said, it's like, she said it was like the sky parted and the sunshine came down. And she said, it's miraculous. And so I want that for you. And you can have that too. I've never had a student fail. I've never, ever had a student fail. And so I got really, really frustrated with, I was training dementia for other companies. And at the time, I thought it was great. But as time went on, I realized that there was a lot missing. There was a lot missing. Like, how do you get them in the shower? How do you get them to get away from the door when they're trying to go home? Because you can't convince them that they are home. That doesn't work, right? How do you calm them down when they're super, super angry and out of control? How do you comfort them when they're crying? And how do you know if they're safe? How do you know when it's time to move them to a nursing home? How do you get them in the shower, get them to take their pills when they won't take their meds? How do you get them engaged in activity? How? The biggest one is how to calm them down. So I took it upon myself and I figured it out. And I didn't really do it on purpose. I did it because I owned a home care business and I was trying to help out my team and I was trying to help out my clients who were being tormented. And so it kind of happened by accident, right? That I tried this and tried that and tried that and trial and error and trial and error. And then I knew what I was doing. I didn't really realize that I had something this big. I didn't realize that in here, I had the new gold standard for dementia training, that I had the scripts that work. I knew it, but I didn't know the global impact that it could have on others just like you. And so when my peers started pressuring me to do something about it, I really resisted. I did not want this responsibility. I didn't want to be the next TIPA. I didn't want to be the new modern dementia strategies that work globally, the new gold standard. I didn't want that responsibility. It was too big. It was too big for little old me. I was like, I'm happy just doing my little teachings here and there and running my little home care business with my husband. And, but then when the book came along, when COVID hit and I was kind of bored and I ended up writing the book kind of hit me like, I guess I am pretty smart. And I guess I do kind of have this. But the best part for me was it's not about me. It's about you. It's about you. And I'm just the tool that you need to learn from so that you can go and change the world for you and for your person with dementia. And that is what makes me so happy, because every single student that I help tells me that their life has changed, that they feel the love again. I had this one student, Mary Lou, And Mary Lou is a clinical psychologist, very smart woman. She had to move both of her parents in with her because they both had dementia. After the course, Mary Lou told me that every night she takes a journal and she writes down 3 things that she's grateful for. And she said that after the course, she realized that she was grateful for her mother again. And she realized that she hadn't been for a very long time. So when I tell you that you can get your relationship back with your loved one, you can take that to the bank. And if you can't, I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am that I know that these techniques work and that I know they'll work for you. Because let's face it, there's a limited amount of time that we have with our loved ones. And how we spend that time is a choice. And right now, it's not a choice because you don't have the skills. But after you have the skills and after you know how these simple tools and scripts can work for you and work miracles for you, you'll wish you'd done it a lot sooner. So, my friend, I hope that you're going to take that next step because you deserve it. You deserve it, and your person with dementia deserves it. And you're going to help change the world. Join me in this modern dementia movement. Your friend Debra, signing off.